everyone, and welcome back to Virtus.pro versus Endpoint CEX. We are here for the second game of the series, and the first one was one hell of a nail-biter. 16-14 to Endpoint as they pick up Virtus.pro's map, Inferno. And now we're here on Train, Endpoint's map, where they have historically been very strong, but don't be worried if you're a Virtus.pro fan. Virtus.pro do have a 100% win rate over on Train. I think it's one game, but it's certainly something. I have heard stories that James is very good on this map. We're about to find out whether that's true or not. But it's certainly going to be interesting to see how this game goes down. Virtus.pro certainly aren't slouches. But Endpoint CX taking their map certainly is worrying, especially with that half-1 performance from Kicker. At half-2, he really couldn't show up. Virtus.pro starting on this T side. Itchy comes on through. Did he do 1 damage? Oh, nice tap there from Surreal. Takes down Buster. And VP already down a player. Haven't really committed anywhere. Oftentimes on pistol rounds, you see maybe a rush towards someone or grouping up and going for a specific position, but Virtus.pro not doing anything of the sort. You see Endpoint hovering around towards those connectors, wanting to be able to make those quick rotates. Yendikar heading towards that B site, looking for info, and I mean, there's only one player on it. It's Surreal. But they're not even going for anything. Virtus. It's slow here. Maybe trying to bait something out from Pop Dog here, but now they're in the position. They're getting ready to make their executes onto the A site, where 3 as Crucial has moved off now, but is returning soon. 4 members of Endpoint will be sitting. Flames goes down to 24. It's a nice pistoling here from Yekindar. Does take down Crucial. They're going to try and get some of this map real estate. They've moved already up towards the bomb. They're going to be able to get it down. 3 versus 4. Make that 3 versus 3 as Robin takes down another. That is Mighty Max down. 2 versus 2. Virtus.pro unfortunately lose out on Sanji, but Yekindar can't quite make it out. I really believed he was going to be able to get that. Yekindar with some really nice shots earlier on in this round, but Virtus.pro lose this pistol. Endpoint on the CT side here on Train. Get that early win under their belt. Get a mad amount of money on their side. Surreal likely going to be able to buy up a rifle here. Yeah, it does even go straight for it. Great stuff to see. Scout out for Mighty Max, always a great thing to see. He has been very impressive with this, but you can see that Jane on the opposite side with a very similar setup. Virtus.pro forcing up wherever they can, basically. Wanting to test a lot of this. It's a good HE. Get some damage onto Buster. Apologies. Endpoint. Get ready to push on through, but Yekindar takes 4 damage, but doesn't quite finish off Flames. He goes down to 4 HP after the HE. Virtus.pro with some good starts to this round, but they're going to be able to close it out in a different manner. 4 players still alive for Endpoint, so 4 guns on the board. They're not all equal. It's good. There, Surreal takes down another, takes down 3! And with Crucial watching his back, that is an easy frag for the Endpoint side, and now it's only Sanji versus these 3 remaining players. Endpoint looking like they're going to be able to close this one out, and the force from Virtus.pro not quite as spectacular as we were hoping, especially with that first pick. Both have life for so much. So, Endpoint off to the races with a good start. Sanji, whether he's able to keep this rifle here, it's a big deal. So many players just barely moving out of his vision, and that vision of him. Surreal. Looking to try and catch him, but unfortunately just won't be able to stop him as that rotate comes on through. Sanji does make it out with the rifle, which is a silver lining for Virtus.pro. After a round that looked initially good for them, but they just couldn't convert it. Surreal again with a 3K. He is 6-0 right now. Doing his best kicker impression for the game from the previous game. It's always good to see. If we have a pause, I'm going to go grab water. But otherwise, keep on soldering on for you, just like Virtus.pro soldering on. Through some futility. Only an AK to their name. Sanji, able to take that AK, turn it into a frag. Which means they have a little bit more under their belt as they capture some of the position on this map. Going to meet up with the rest of their team as Virtus.pro continue to look towards Popdog here. I'm going to drop someone down, but Yekindar getting on in like that is perfect for the T side. Buster goes down to 9, but doesn't quite fall. Endpoint still at a player disadvantage. Yekindar finding a bit of damage there, back and forth. I'm very aware this Popdog could be a problem for them. As a result, trying to hold it where they can. Virtus.pro back off. And they can still take this bomb wherever they want. They have a lot of time to play with. 55 seconds on the clock. And, well, Virtus.pro looking like they're going to head down Ivy here. There's no one to really contest them. There was earlier in the round, but we saw what Yekindar did. He just peeked out and took those heads clean off. Good shot there from Robin, but unfortunately, kick up right behind. Now with James in position as well. This is 2 versus 3 for the Endpoint side, but only one rifle for VP to make that 2 versus 2 is crucial. Takes it down like the one with the bomb. Great stuff from Endpoint there. They shut down the last 2 remaining players, and Virtus.pro again back in a bit of a spot. They have enough money to buy, but lost a couple more rounds than I really would have liked in these early exchanges. The HLTV will always be ahead because we're on GoTV right now. So the scoreline is actual current rather than the delay that GoTV puts on. Keep that in mind if you're in the World Cup. Another time, but Kick That is just going to, well, rather than being pushed out of Popdog, takes it down Robin. HE comes on through, does find some good damage on the crucial there, and that flash as well is just going to put Endpoint in such a difficult position here. The bomb is going to go down, and so is Flame. So is Crucial. Mighty Max isn't long for this world either. And Endpoint, good start to this half with the 3-0, but Virtus are going to easily clean that one up. They get the AWP in hand as well for James. And Endpoint looking to save this rifle for Surreal, and that's all. And keep in mind, they had to spend a lot of money to win these 3 rounds, and now they themselves, well, they're poor as dirt. Saving this rifle for Surreal will mean they at least have some access to play along. And he has a lot of utility too, so it can bring a surprising amount to the 7-point side. And Surreal still hasn't died, I think. Might have died before this. We'll see in a sec. Oh, yeah, he has. I was right. Endpoint here. Big disadvantage, but by buying up these Eagles, they're hoping to try and catch out a good round onto the Virtus.pro side. Surreal is going to that big actor for the team. You can see 2 players looking up that flank. It's Surreal and Crucial, both looking to really get the drop on Virtus.pro. So we're going to sneak on down, take out Yekindar, and now Popdog is very much under their control. Crucial gives him a little bit of a love tap, but he's going to use that rifle, takes, oh, just about leaves Sanji alive. These 2 players trying to do something from Popdog. They are reloading that. That Ichi doesn't land, and that means that Sanji is going to survive, but Kick Out will not. The rest of their team falls, and Virtus.pro lose out on that. Endpoint managed to turn it from just 1 AK into an easy round for themselves. That flank was beautiful, and Surreal leading the charge here. 2 KPR of these last 5 rounds, and still hasn't gone down. A clean eco round there from Endpoint, and, well, to say it in the words of CSGO's own characters, pristine play across the board from Endpoint to not even drop a single player. Maybe sometimes you pick up these econ rounds, baiting some of your players in, catching them off guard, using that AK to your advantage. But Endpoint didn't even need to do that. They back off when they need to and let that pressure applied by Surreal really come to the fore. And there's a reason why we were saying this is Endpoint's map. They're so darn good on this one. That smoke, good. They are aware that Jamie is going to be a problem if they don't cut him out. Sure, Endpoint are in a good position, but they certainly aren't cocky. Victory giveth and victory taketh away. Robin sneaks up on the side, takes down one, doesn't find the second as James was watching and waiting for him. 3 versus 3. Endpoint might struggle with his retake. It's a little bit difficult. Buster is right up close, takes down 2. Exactly where they need to be. Endpoint on the back foot. Flames, he's won these before, but he's going to get flanked here by Buster, and the round will be over. Virtus.pro with a good round. And Endpoint, they can still just about buy up. I think someone will be on a little bit weaker. Yeah, Robin on that FAMAS. But again, Virtus really testing the limits of Endpoint's economy here. Not a lot of utility, which is always going to be exceedingly relevant here. You can't counter smoke. Counter utility here because of that lack of economy, but hitting shots like that, Flames doesn't really need his smoke. Gonna just Virtus.pro instead. Buster goes down to 50. There's easy pickings there for Mighty Max. 2 versus 4. 5. Can't even count. Yakindar does manage to make it. So I'm right. Thank you, Yakindar. Bit of a fella. He's going to start to get ready to move on. Load of damage coming through on the smoke. They see him. He's out in the open. Yakindar goes down. No bomb in the hand. James, I think honestly here, you're looking for these exit frags. Managed to take down Mighty Max. Feeling pretty good about himself now. Hits that shot and obviously can't get the bomb, but that's fine by him. As long as he keeps this up, he's in a good situation. Endpoint with some solid rounds so far. Losing a couple, the 2 which they lost were a little bit yikes. But on the whole, I think you can have some pretty clean performances. Losing out 1 player here in interesting circumstances, pushing the AWP, not always the best idea, but you can't be too fussed. You have to be happy with this, your Endpoint. It's a pretty good round for them on the whole. I think there'll actually be a buy up from Virtus.pro after this around the AWP. Yeah, 2 players who are able to properly buy. Maybe a little bit of a weaker one. Maybe some Deagles for the rest of the members of Virtus.pro. But we've seen that Deagles can absolutely work. Endpoint showed us that earlier in this half. Leaping. I don't think a Leo for kicker. But there's Yakindar over on that Deagle. Mighty Max. Back on the scout. It's a good look for him. I always like it when he plays that. It's something which only some players play, and well, he seems to make it work. Flames. Peek out. See Virtus.pro. Really wanting to find that initial pick. These Deagles can be so deadly in that regard. Such a big opportunity for them to do so. Endpoint. They know. They absolutely know. The Virtus.pro are looking for these. That's why Flames is playing a little bit passive as he moves in now. That is not what I wanted to see from him. James just takes him off the board. A picture perfect execution there for Virtus.pro. Because now they look to execute on the site. With that man advantage, they are looking for openings now. Keep an eye on Surreal. He's flanking. And Kicker knows. So, in the last map, very few flanks. Very few of any of that sort of thing. But after that round, earlier on here, Kicker is so hyper aware of what his Surreal is doing here. And he's looking for this. Robin wins out the duel. Mighty Max falls, but rings true when they need it to. Kicker is down as well. Robin. Sure, he finally falls, but you have to be so fine with this situation. 5 seconds on the clock. Sanji is not finding this round. And Endpoint lose out on a lot of the economy, but still in a very solid position. They can buy up on most of these guys. Expect to see at least a FAMAS coming out, because they want to be able to buy that utility. They do prize it highly. This Mighty Max, rather than going for the FAMAS, goes with the scout again. Easy boy. VP. Double AK, double deagle. With a bit of utility. They have ways to work around. And they've already pushed quite far in here. Yakin no. The sharp tip of the spear that is Virtus.pro. They can't find anything. Prodding and poking. Prodding and poking. Not prodding and poking. Finally finds that frag. Flames goes down. He's going to start to move on in aggressively. And Yekindar putting pressure onto Mighty Max. It's so hard for him to play in that position. The scout is not built for that sort of thing. And Mighty Max is absolutely aware. He knows how to play around this. That is a headshot and a half. Kicker sets himself up perfectly. And Virtus.pro down to 3. And with only 1 rifle, they're still going to try and make their play. Mighty Max finally falls. Robin, up close and personal, but Surreal manages to take down Buster before the fight even happens. Sanji goes down. And it's only James with this Glock. I think he's maybe looking to pick up a rifle or catch someone off guard. There's not really much he can find. He's going to try and get closer. Take me closer so I can hit them with my Glock. That's what VP are looking for. But well, off guard, Surreal still manages to go down. Great stuff there from James to find a frag out of a pretty dire situation, honestly. But Virtus.pro just have not looked the same here on this map. Turns out, when Kicker doesn't drop 22 frags in the first half, Virtus.pro don't look as broken as they did. And, he's not had the worst performance in the world. 5-1 and 8. Not bad. But it's not quite the highlights that we saw in map 1. Here on a map that isn't their map, they're going to need those highlights. Great HE there from Crucial to finish it off. Flame is maybe a little bit mad that his frags are getting stolen all over the place. But hey. Kicker going to pop out through that. That is a free kill there for Surreal. So that's Pro. Hemorrhaging players. But again, as expected, they're on a pistol round. They're looking to find a frag. That's all they're really asking for. And that is a free kill there as well for Mighty Max. Wow, 2 of them. And it's only Yekindar left. He has the Deagle. Certainly find a frag, but they just can't seem to make it happen here. Virtus.pro really looking at this next round with eager eyes. And they actually have some rifles, have some weapons. A little bit more of that utility. They can start to make these plays, but a clean round for Endpoint. Not losing out a single player. In comparison to the earlier rounds in this half, a great look because they did drop a couple of rounds where they really shouldn't have, and that economy a little bit weaker because of that. They did have to buy up to some interesting positions earlier in these rounds, but now they're on double AWP, having a whale of a time. Virtus.pro not really able to do too much to that economy. Even if they get frag, it'll be down to rifles at worst. Maybe a FAMAS or 2. But Endpoint have proved their skill with these FAMASs. So I'm not too worried. If you're a Virtus.pro fan, you absolutely should be. 8-2. A dominating showing so far from Endpoint. Some information going over. Buster still looking to see if anyone's playing now Pop Dog. It's eating a little bit of damage there. Virtus still playing around the map, looking to go deep into Ivy here. That's where the bomb is, so... Probably pushing. Oh, a little bit of damage, and will finally go down to Kicker. He falls to 6 himself. Probably not quite able to find that last ticket. The Flames all too happy to find Buster before going down to James here. Man advantage for Virtus. It's 4 versus 3. That really should have been it. Big mistakes here. From Surreal, not able to find that shot. Brutal punish from Yekindar. Crucial, the only remaining player. I think he's going to save this one. Puts his team into a much better economic position. But already, you can see that Kicker, he's looking for that. Virtus pick up the first round in a while. And Endpoint. Back down to a bye. I think Robin is likely going to be that player with the FAMAS. No, it doesn't even go for it. Goes for that deagle. Wants the utility more. Priorities from Endpoint have often looked towards his utility. They look great with it, and we saw that especially on Inferno, where they valued it so heavily, and I think it's a big part of why they were able to eventually just eke out a win over Virtus.pro. Here on map 2. Gotta be careful, that was a run boost and a half, but Mighty Max, he doesn't contest it. He doesn't want to get hit by that orb. Knows that, well, he goes down in 1, but his opponent has to take 2 unless he gets that quick, clean headshot. Speaking of 2, great start for Endpoint as they do take that advantage, and with the bomb down, oh, Kicker! Jumping down, just about grabbing that bomb as Sanji takes down Mighty Max as well. This is an opening for the side of Virtus.pro. Flames peeks out wide, looking for that information. Knows there's going to be a player somewhere near here. Molly gives away his position. They know he's back there. Robin checking out towards Pop Dog, expecting someone to push on in, but still, VP. Their bomb is still coming in. They've got 45 seconds to play with, a lot of time to work. And crucial in this fight. That's an easy kill for him. Shortering out, and Virtus.pro start to back off. They don't want any part of this round. Know that Endpoint, likely not to chase because of their own economy. As a result, are going to be able to save these rifles. And this orb that's been great for James so far. Oh, let's go on. Yeah. Challenge again to Surreal. Fantastic start to this map. Such a strong start. Consistently putting in work. So if you're Virtus.pro here, what do you want to do? Well, I think honestly playing for that B site less makes a lot more sense, and they've already started to do that. That B site is somewhere Endpoint just have lockdown so well. Unless you get some really good far back smokes early and have the man advantage, I don't think it's possible. Mighty Max looking for the aggressive push, takes down Sanji. Really great smoke there over the molly to set them up for that play. Kicker has moved out here. Gets the shot on the Surreal there. Really surprised by that one. And those are the deep smokes that I was asking for. Nice AT comes on through, but doesn't actually find any damage. Really surprised by that one. Robin who's going to put that molly down. Look for it breaking the smoke. Kicker's going to pop out the other side, but he's turned away. Robin turns at these awkward positions and finally falls to Kicker. Yekindar does go down. It's 3 versus 3. The bomb hasn't gone down yet. It's still not in position. It's looking out towards this A site. With Kicker going down, that's exactly where they want to be, honestly. The rotate comes on in. They know that Buster is still on that site, but they're just going to have to hold it with Crucial. Flames is now in position. So where is he going? He's going towards this B site. Feeling like because they have the player there, they can go for this execute. And they've dragged a player away as well. Great play there from Virtus.pro. Knowing that it's down to Endpoint to really react to a lot of what they do. Sure, the onus is on them, but that gives them control of the tempo as well. Good flash coming on through, but unfortunately Crucial just holds the line And this is an easy one here for him as he cleans it up. And Virtus.pro losing a lot more rounds than they really want. Endpoint hit the double digits in this first half. And it ain't even over yet. But looking to the wrong side of that train, doesn't quite catch anyone off as a result. VP still playing more spread out across this map. James. Frag, but Kindar who gets that first frag. Well, Jamie's all too happy to help him out there, finding that one in the back. And again, keep an eye. Every round Virtus.pro take is really relevant. The economy for Endpoint, even though they've won so many rounds, is not good. It's so hard to have a good economy here on the CT side. And with the double orbs left, I'm looking at Endpoint and going, you're saving here, right? Because there's very little else you can do. You can't make this retake with these weapons. You're down 2 players. You can find exit frags and Sanji just sitting in Ivy, outside of Ivy for some reason. But you're not going to find much more. Kicker shuts out Crucial. At least that gives Mighty Max an idea of where he really needs to be hiding. Again, those kills, really important. No economy for Endpoint. That's around the first half, so they're going to force up. This could easily be 10-5. Virtus.pro very much in a winning position. 1 rifle, couple pistols, and that scout for Mighty Max. Imagine the difference that those AWPs would have made. Endpoint would have been in such a better spot. Mighty Max goes down. Oh. Endpoint's economy just torn to shreds by the Virtus.pro side. Getting him out. But Kicker does not care for that. He'll just hold the angle, however long it takes. Surreal, the only one remaining. Gonna try and make that hero play. He has a KDA he could save, but there's no point. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. So, good half on the slate from Endpoint as they lock it out 10-5. Impressive performances, especially early on for Surreal. A little bit quiet in the second half, but on the whole, some good stuff. I'm going to be going straight into this pistol round. No delay this time. Won't let that happen to you. VP. Now on this defense. I'm going to spread out a little bit more. Endpoint, sometimes their attack on this map hasn't been the greatest, but it's always been solid. 6 rounds? Sounds doable for them. Bonus. Really on Virtus.pro. To have some impressive play, to have great responses to whatever Endpoint throw at them. My Max gets aggressed onto Kend. Finding that side, but easily taken back. And Flames is like, thank you for the USP. We'll take that one. And Endpoint and getting ready. Drop down into Pop Dog. What will Crucial do here? Utility's going to come on out. This is Endpoint's chance to move. The smoke's land. To try and play at these long ranges. They find that first bit of damage, but just one tap to the head will spell disaster here. You see it happen there. Surreal goes down. Crucial trying to use that rate of fire for this gun to their advantage. Checks to the left, but doesn't find Buster. VP in a great spot here. Flames the only one remaining. He's out for the count. VP put the pistol round on the board, and well, looking to start off exactly how Endpoint started off. 3-0. MP9s and FAMASs for VP here. But Endpoint, just with those pistols, they got very little out of that. They found 1 kill, so have little to no money to play with. When you're on this T side, you have to be buying up that extra armor. Through, aims, finds Yekindar there. Be down a player already. It's going to be an MP9, likely in someone's hands in a second. Robin looks at the information but doesn't quite find it. He gets mollied off from his position in Ivy. With that backup from Robin. So crucial. Fanchi gets a bit of spray, finds one of Flames, wants to close out this kill. Flames playing around that block as well. Finally falls as the rifles start to come to bear. There he is, Robin on the flank, finds the frag, and he's distracted. Buster knows that just one body shot will easily spell his doom. Great stuff from Robin, but now it's 1 versus 1, and at the range with such little health, the MP9 comes out on top. VP win that round by the closest of margins there. And VP putting on a good show. Already the AWP coming out. Jesus. For James here. Whoa. I assume that's off of Kicker, yeah. Had a lot of money from those MP9 kills. There's a timeout here for Endpoint. They're going to buy up. They're going to force around this. Flames is the one with all the utility as well. This is an interesting setup. An armor for both Surreal and Crucial means that you can drop that rifle to them and not feel too bad about it. They have a lot to work with. Endpoint. Playing up in those halls. You can see aggression coming out. Move on over. Oh, no, it's kick out right up close and personal. Just a second. You can see that Robin and Crucial are just at the bottom of these stairs. Crucial moves out of the way. He's going to return. And this is so free for kick out here. This is a straight and a half. Takes down this utilities it tries to set up. That is so big. Not only for the frag, but the fact that those smokes now don't go in. Kicker's still going to push. He's so aggressive. Here with this MP9, he knows what he can do. Flames falls to the and Endpoint, they managed to find the frags onto the site, but again, Kicker is behind. He's looking for this. He's in a great position. Tries to take down Robin, but gives away his position here. This is not what he wanted to do. He's now down a player and having to make these plays aggressive and forward. Surreal flicks on over and takes him right out. Last remaining player is in Pop Dog, and Endpoint steal the round. Great stuff from them. That tack pause coming in clutch. Endpoint knowing that they can take that fight. And VP hand them over and up. I have to question the sensibility in buying that AWP in that round just because Kickout had the money. And the fact that they lost it, I mean, if they won and you go, oh, the AWP literally won them the round, sure. But since they lost it, it is such a bad decision. They are such a difficult position now. They spend so much money. They're on the CT side, which makes it harder to really maintain that economy. And Endpoint now have the AWP. Like, VP. I mean, they can still win these rounds. We've seen these Deagles really show their fruits. Oh! Mighty Max finishes off Buster there after the upshot doesn't quite finish it. And the flash comes on in. Endpoint holding the angle. Oh, Kicker! This guy is a bit of a nutter. He finds so many great frags. Surreal just not checking the corner. That kind of happens. They flashed him out, but they were too slow. Endpoint. Looking towards his B site, and there isn't actually anyone there. I think Virtus.pro go, oh, maybe we should have someone on that B site instead. Rotate 2 players on in. well, you can see that even James is coming on in here. That scout could pay dividends here as the utility starts to land. VP knows that push is not coming on in. Not a lot of time for Endpoint. They have 20 seconds to play with. Push coming on through. Flames goes down. His rifle up on high. Kicker takes down one. It's 2 versus 2. This is a big opportunity. Sanji finds a frag. Does go back. Crucial. Needs to stick the plant. Knows that. And he's going to be able to get it. But watch out here as he's behind him. The shot comes on through. Crucial hits it. And Endpoint 12-7 now off of that round. A little bit close for comfort. But Endpoint win it out regardless. And they're going to be able to buy up on their players. VP back down to these pistols. I think it's suffice to say, not exactly where they wanted to be in this round. That really could have been theirs, and it would have been fantastic to see. But how they let Sanji get away with this? He finally falls, but Flames goes down for it. Mighty Max goes down as well. Kicker. This man is a bit mad, honestly. Game is the only one remaining now after Endicott goes balls to the walls aggressive. It won't be long. A couple more players going down than you probably expected there if you're Endpoint. But an absolute godsend if you're Virtus.pro. Was exactly where they needed to be. Endpoint's still able to buy up. Got a tech issue coming on in. Hopefully that'll be sorted soon, but VP, 100% buying up here. There's no way they can't. In the next round, what are we looking for? Look forward. If VP lose this, Endpoint go to 14. There's a buy on 15 waiting for them. What's that lost bonus? Oh god. 3. Yeah, I think they have a buy waiting on 15 for them if they lose this round. Or obviously a force round if they save. VP have a couple of ways to kind of be playing around this. But you definitely be buying up here, even if it's just the fastest. I think this might not be a tech pause, this might have actually been a tech pause. I was going to ask, do you buy this orb? And it seems like the answer is yes. Jane, I put a lot of faith in you in this one. You need to show it. VP. Getting that first frag. So important here. It's crucial down. Assume that will go to Mighty Max. Well, no, as the case may be, as he goes down. Trades 1 for 1, but now still the deficit for Endpoint here. Screw jumps down and starts to make that move. Doesn't know that there's a player towards that back of sight. It is Jane. It is that orb. It's going to be such a threat if he can take that early. It's exactly what happens. Sanji goes down to 50. So Robin can sneak on in, get that plant. Molly comes on in, a great molly. And HE to try and punish it. The molly just takes him out completely. And with that HE, I thought that Yekindar was going to go down. But Surreal gets domed. There's Endpoint down to 1 player. But this is absolutely winnable for our boy Flames. We've seen him do it before. It's really wonder. Fortunately can't do it this time. Virtus.pro pick up the round in one that they so sorely needed. And really good position now for them. Gonna still be a buy/force buy for Flames, I think. For Endpoint. But no AWP this time. Going from that early utility and trying to get some damage down. Do get someone to Surreal. That molly is going to really deter them. Surreal going so low, goes down! As the flash just means he is not able to escape. And Mighty Max did not want to get caught in this position. This pop dog looks so disastrous for them. James finds the frag onto Robin as Endpoint. This round, this force, really should have been one to be reckoned with, but unfortunately, Virtus.pro just shut it down. Really great mollies and flash back up mean that, well, Endpoint down to very little here. They're going to be forced onto an eco. And VP certainly have a chance for a comeback. Seems like the AWP was absolutely the right choice for Virtus.pro. Max. One, but doesn't find anymore. Do they manage to pick up that AWP? They do get it to kick out. This is going to be a pause coming on in here. Tack pause for Endpoint. They want to think about how they're going to do this. Endpoint looking real solid right now, but in those last couple of rounds, Virtus.pro have just been able to outduel them. VP with a little bit of a ramshackle, but they've got kicker on the MP9, but we've seen him. He can get those flanks off very well. I'm sure it'll work. And against these pistols, he's really going to be able to rake in some cash if he does so. Because only this flash was invested by Endpoint. It's the only thing they bought this round. Okay. Be careful here. Robin comes on through, takes down the Yakunda. Exactly where they want to be. They're getting fragged. Unfortunately, make that only frag, as this is easy pickings for Sanji. Flames goes down, and Mighty Max is the last remaining player. I really thought they were going to be able to take down the other in the back of sight there, but wasn't quite landing, and Endpoint now back on a buy round. Sometimes 5 Glocks are better than, well, 1, and they were actually able to find that frag, but I don't know. Oh no, that's the dog. Kicker. Playing up and aggressive as usual. He's no longer on the MP9. That was a warbang and a half. Jane. Taking Mighty Max down to 60 in a split second there. Really great stuff to see. Yakunda. Gonna hold it. And kick it. Just ready to counter Molly. And a great early investment of that smoke there. Because they still have one up for Crucial. The post plant could be a bit difficult for Endpoint. Since they only have one smoke for that B site. But it looks like right now they're not heading towards that B site. They're backing off, and the fact that Buster is able to get this kill here, VP have just been taking control of so many different parts of this map. Flames goes down. That is so good for Buster and for Virtus.pro. Mighty Max is not long for this earth either. That's surreal. Only remaining member. Gonna get caught up by VP. Some deadly rounds there. Aggressive pushing. Holding forward angles. Stopping the rotates back. Endpoint. Getting stuck and bogged down in Virtus.pro's aggression. You have to be so anxious there if you're Mighty Max. Barely didn't fall. The HE will finish him off. Again, these HEs finding a little bit of damage here and there. VP have been using them well. Especially trying to find it. So, Endpoint. Looking to deal some damage. They play one of these weapons. Surreal. Going down 14 HP. Gonna die to that HE. Pretty nice stuff there. Kicker goes down. So does Robin. That's the bomb down. Don't know if James knows where it is. Oh, taking that off away. They're going to be able to pick it up, but getting some good damage down. At least where they can. Not really going to affect Virtus Pro's economy too badly, though. Endpoint. Worried now. Virtus.pro looking so dominant these last 6 rounds. Really have come alive. And James with this AWP is a sight to behold. Close and personal. Endpoint trying to do something a little different. Looking towards the ivy. That is a free kill. But no, it isn't. Great response there. That's going to force them off of the position. They're going to have to back on up. It's going to be down to Buster to hold, but with the boost from Surreal, the Ivy player is cleaned out. And Endpoint have a man advantage. Can VP turn this into something new? Watch for this number 8, Sanji. He's going to catch him off guard. Robin, you need to be looking forward, my friend. He's looking the wrong way here, and that is just, again, VP stealing frags from Endpoint. Bloody murder. Flames. Looking to make plays towards that B site with the team's back up. You can see the rotate starting to come in from VP. They're expecting it now. They know because they have man back in that CT spawn. Flames has to throw out smoke regardless. You have to give them respect. They are behind them, however. The plant is going to go down regardless, but I don't think they're expecting this. They're going to push on up. Move to his perspective. This is beautiful here. This is just VP finding a frag where they really, really shouldn't be. Molly buys some time. Flame starts to back off. He wants to make this play. Doesn't know that they're both coming from the same angle. I mean, why would they? Virtus.pro playing with hearts and minds here, but it doesn't matter. Endpoint. Flames is the beating heart of this team when they need the blood to course through their veins. He shows up, finds the frags, and Endpoint not letting Virtus.pro go and get this comeback without a fight. Gonna be buys up for both teams, but slightly weaker for Endpoint here. I don't think they're gonna find frags like that in Ivy again. Instead, they're pushing on through. They're going super aggressive here. HE is good. Yekinda goes down. Flames opens up as he just pushes on in. Great shot there from James to try and keep things alive. A lot of HE damage going on to Endpoint. Watch out. There it comes. Crucial takes down Sanji. Knows that there's a player up in heaven. Will they be able to deal with him properly? Surprised the Molly hasn't gone from Flames there, but Buster takes down one with Kickert's back up. He's able to take down another. Surreal is the last remaining member. It's 1 versus 2, but with the AWP, Virtus.pro shut it down. Endpoint. Great start to the round, but they're not able to quite do it. Pistols now for Endpoint. Next round will be their buy. It is their time. It's their opportunity to make those plays, make that round really theirs. But VP have looked so strong. Can they hold up to this? Surely this is going to be another clean round for VP. Endpoint need to be wary of these flanks. Consistently providing pressure, providing information. Virtus.pro will push aggressive at the drop of the hat. As soon as they believe that a place is cleared, well, it's already theirs in their mind. They'll just walk about wherever they wish. Wally's coming to throw from the side. Flash from Max. Gonna push it on up. VP, aware that there's players in Ivy now, starting to position a little bit better for it. The pop dog drop is going to come soon. My Amax goes low. Crucial takes some damage. Yekindar is watching the back angle, knows they are coming. Crucial wins the duel against Yekindar here. Has to reload, but how's the bullets now? Finds the headshot. 8 HP. He barely managed to survive out of that molly, but this is an easy kill here for James. With the P250 now, Sanji is easily going to close out Surreal. The headshot doesn't come through. Robin, the only remaining member, tries to make this push aggressively, but the P250 is too much for him. And Virtus.pro bring it back to even. "27 frags for James," and people were saying in the chat at the start of this map, James on train, this is easy. And you know, James wasn't the greatest in the last map. I wasn't feeling so hopeful, but he has looked stellar here on train and might even be able to take it the full way. Always abound. Endpoint R. Oh. Okay, Buster. You know, sometimes it happens. It happens to the best of us. The boost from Endpoint. Really looking for this play, but the HE, the VP know. They are fully aware. They've played this map before as well. 100% win rate again. And they might be keeping that score. Tides are starting to shift in their... Well, not starting. They have been shifting in their favour. The entirety of this second half, the CT side has looked awesome for them. And Endpoint just seemingly unsure of what to do to push on in here. 3 players in at that pop dog area. The push is going to come through now. Robin takes out White, takes down Yekindar. They lose Surreal as the push comes on through. And Crucial takes down Same. James, that is big, but... again, Buster has been so great on this map. Finding those frags where it's necessary. Takes down Flames as well. It's Crucial. The last one remaining. And Kicker kicks him to the dirt. Virtus.pro 15-14. It's still or die time for Endpoint. They want to take this to overtime. But VP... every turn in this second half, beating Endpoint to the punch, finding those frags wherever they need. What are they to do? They can't buy enough an AWP here. They don't have the weapons they want. Endpoint are going to have to make do on a severely weaker buy. And with the AWP in hand yet again, can they even deal with this? Utility being expended early. They don't want to let any cheeky rushes or pushes come on through. Virtus.pro doing the due diligence that is required for them to be in this position. Flames is going to lead the charge, but there he is. James, yet again, constant thorn in the Endpoint side. Gets taken down, Crucial. Even through the flash, takes him out. Surreal takes down Kicker. This could be overtime. Sanji looking for a hop on over. Takes down Robin, but eats a lot of damage for what? On 36 HP, able to duck away. Mighty Max gets the plant, and you can see the flank from Yekindar. Endpoint know that this flank is coming. They're ready for it, but they've got 2 players pushed off far. Sanji, difficult spot. Easily gets takes Surreal though. Takes him off the board, but doesn't quite finish off the second. The molly will do that. Buster gets both of those frags, and Virtus.pro, after losing their map 16-14, strike back. Endpoint lose out on this one, and Virtus.pro maintain their 100% win rate here on train. And it's all down to your boy James. Spectacular play on that AWP.